Welcome to this tutorial on the sound effector. It's a little bit non-traditional. I'm using some horrible music that I got for free on the internet. It's techno, it's not really my cup of tea, but I had to use something. And I know my microphone is horrible. I'm just using the internal microphone on the laptop. And the music is going to sound even worse than it is. So just bear with me. What we're going to make is something like this. I already cranked the speakers down so it's not that loud. So that's pretty neat. Well, I think it's pretty neat. Anyways, let's kick this thing off with building the leg. Now the leg is, of course, pretty simple, and I start off with just a cube and make this 20 units by 20 units, not over the Z-ray. The Z-axis is actually the axis I'm going to use because I should make this 20. That's usually the axis that you use for instance, for bones, for eye keychains, etc. So it's easier to, by default, doing that. Now I'm just going to move the pivot point. I can't do that with a parametric object, so I'm just going to click on C, make it editable, and just move this sucker right up here. This is going to be the end part where it hooks up to the body. Get out of pivot mode again, and then I'm just going to, with the C button, make 2 copies. Click and drag and make 2 copies. I'll just nest these to make the segments of the spider leg, and I got 3. Oops, hang on, I should move this one. Yeah, like that. So now I got 1, 2, 3 segments of the legs. Now you've seen that in the example that I showed you, that the legs are actually a little bit crooked like a spider leg and not straight. I'm going to get to that in a second. First of all, I want to tell you about the xpresso tag. Now I usually put it on the top node. It doesn't really matter where you put it, because you hook up different parameters of the 3 different objects in one editor, so it doesn't really matter where it hooks up. It could be on a null node or something like that. What I'm doing is actually putting in all the 3 nodes that I have. These are the legs that need to be steered, and this is the one controlling it, because this is the top node that's going to be in the cloner, etc., etc. Now, the way it works is pretty simple and straightforward, but it can get really complicated, so I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Now, here you have your output. It's the red side of the object. If I click on it, I can ask for all kinds of parameters, and I'm just going to go for the rotation parameter of the pitch. So coordinates, rotation, and rotation P. Now I get a little ball here. That's actually kind of a hookup point. And I actually want to use that output as input for my 2 different segments. Now let's see. So I choose the same thing, and I choose the same thing here. Now I'll just stretch this out just for you to be able to read what I'm doing. And in the next segment, I'm going to show you how to use the range mapper, so you can actually bend it a little bit differently and not just use the input as the output. But this is how it works. You click and you drag a wire from output to input, or the other way around, doesn't matter. And what happens now is if I just click this away and I use the rotational tool on the lower leg. Is it the lower leg? No, it must be the upper leg. I don't know how it works with spiders. I just move it up, and you see that it just copies the rotation and transfers it to the other segments. Now I'm just screwing up the leg here, but in the next segment I'm going to make something half decent out of it and actually let this one bend up and the other ones bend down.